Some places become famous because people talk about them. Others become famous because photographs go viral. But there are a few places that seem almost too beautiful to be real. When I first saw a picture of Mu Cang Chai, I honestly thought it had been edited. Entire mountains transformed into giant staircases, golden waves flowing across impossible slopes, villages hidden between layers of clouds. It didn't look like something built by nature or even by people. It looked like a painting. Today, I'm finally here to find out if this really is one of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Long before sunrise, the mountains were already awake. Mist floated quietly through the valleys. The roads were empty. The only sound came from insects hidden in the fields and the distant flow of mountain streams. Driving deeper into Mu Cang Chai felt different from anywhere else I'd been in Vietnam. The mountains weren't just standing around me, they had been transformed. Every hillside carried hundreds of terraces, carefully carved by generations of Hmong families over hundreds of years. Looking out across the valley, I wasn't just seeing farmland. I was looking at one of the greatest examples of humans living in harmony with nature. The first rays of sunlight slowly reached the mountain peaks. At first, only the highest terraces turned gold. Then the light rolled down the mountainside like a wave. Within minutes, the entire valley began glowing. Every terrace reflected a different shade. Some were still green, others burned bright yellow. Some shimmered beneath the morning dew. No two mountains looked exactly the same. From above, the landscape felt endless. One valley connected to another. One mountain revealed another hidden village. Every turn in the road made me stop the car again, not because I had reached another viewpoint, but because every viewpoint somehow looked even better than the last. People often ask why these rice terraces are so special. The answer isn't simply because they're beautiful, it's because they shouldn't exist. These mountains are incredibly steep. The land is difficult to farm. Water is never guaranteed. Yet somehow, generation after generation, local communities carved thousands of terraces by hand, without modern machinery, without technology, only with patience, skill, and an understanding of the mountain passed down through families for centuries. Standing here, it's impossible not to admire what they achieved. This isn't just agriculture, it's art on the largest canvas imaginable. I left the main road and followed a narrow trail into one of the villages. The landscape changed immediately. The grand panoramic views disappeared. Instead, I found myself walking between the terraces. Each step revealed details impossible to see from above. Fresh water quietly flowed from one field into another through handmade irrigation channels. Farmers worked silently beneath wide straw hats. Children laughed while running along the narrow paths separating the terraces. A buffalo grazed peacefully beside a small wooden house. Life here didn't feel connected to tourism. It felt connected to the land. Every season brings different colors, different work, different challenges, but the mountains remain constant. An elderly Hmong farmer stood quietly at the edge of his field, watching the morning lights spread across the valley. He likely saw this view thousands of times, yet he still paused, still looked, still appreciated it. That moment stayed with me, because beauty doesn't disappear simply because you see it every day. Sometimes it becomes part of who you are. Perhaps that's why these mountains feel so alive. They are not simply admired, they are lived. By midday, the clouds began gathering again. Large shadows drifted slowly across the terraces. The colors changed every few minutes. One moment, the mountains glowed with brilliant gold. The next, they became soft shades of green beneath the passing clouds. Photographers often spend hours waiting for perfect light here. Now I understood why. The landscape is never the same twice. You don't capture Mu Cang Chai, you wait for it to reveal itself. One of the highest viewpoints overlooked several valleys at once. Standing there, I could finally understand the true scale of this place. The terraces stretched beyond the horizon. Small villages looked almost invisible beneath the mountains. Roads twisted through the valleys like thin ribbons. People disappeared completely. Nature had become the main character, and for the first time since arriving, I stopped filming. I stopped taking photographs. I simply stood there. Sometimes travel isn't about collecting images. Sometimes it's about allowing a place to leave its image inside you. As afternoon slowly turned into evening, the mountains transformed one final time. Golden light poured across the terraces. The valleys filled with long shadows. Smoke rose gently from village kitchens. The sound of children slowly faded as families returned home. Everything became quiet again. The mountains that had seemed so dramatic only hours earlier now felt peaceful, gentle, timeless. I realized something. People often call places like this hidden gems, but Mu Cang Chai isn't hidden. It's simply too far away for most people to discover. And maybe that's exactly what has protected its beauty. When the last sunlight disappeared behind the mountains, I took one final look across the valley. Hundreds of terraces slowly faded into darkness. Tomorrow morning, the sun would return. Farmers would return to the fields. Children would walk the same mountain paths. Life would continue exactly as it had yesterday, exactly as it had for generations. Travelers like me come here searching for extraordinary landscapes, but perhaps the real wonder isn't the view. It's the people who transformed impossible mountains into one of the most beautiful places on Earth. And that's a story far greater than any photograph could ever tell. As I left Mu Cang Chai behind me, I couldn't help but wonder what other secrets were still hidden among Vietnam's northern mountains. Because somewhere beyond these valleys, there is a village where the clouds don't pass overhead, they become the streets themselves. Next time, we're traveling to Yi Ti, a place many people have never heard of, a village that spends half its life above the clouds. And if these mountains have taught me anything, it's that Vietnam always has another surprise waiting just beyond the next ridge. Until then, keep exploring.